and welcomed me into their home. The offer was unexpected. However, I was very grateful that someone had the heart to look after me. I lived at Amalia's aunt and uncle's house for a month until it was time to move to my next destination. For the months of August and September, I stayed at a woman's home that I had found on Airbnb. Her name is Mrs. B. My initial plan was to rent one of her rooms temporarily until I could find a job and an apartment. After I had stayed at MSB's home for a week, she saw that I kept her home clean, and she admired my willing heart. Out of the kindness of her heart, she gave me a dozen discount to let me continue living in the home. She even offered to let me be her host and help keep the house tidy when guests rented a room temporarily. I gratefully accepted the offer and followed her direction. The home consisted of 2 stories, 4 bedrooms, and 2.5 bathrooms. I made sure every bed was made properly. The floors were swept twice a week whenever guests came. I welcomed them kindly and shared my journey of faith with them. When my time of living in MSB's home came to an end, I needed a place to live again since my friend Teresa saw that I was in need of a place to stay out of the kindness of her heart. She welcomed she welcomed me to stay at her home temporarily while I lived with Teresa and her family during the month of October. The first lesson I learned was humility in uncomfortable places. Humility brought me outside my comfort zone when I had to share a bedroom with Teresa, 6-year-old daughter. Her room was only about the size of 3 Toyota Corollas squeezed side by side. Plus, I had to sleep on a large blow-up mattress that took up most the room. Going through this process of humility pushed me even further to seek God for direction in where He was taking me. The second lesson I learned during the month of October was the joys of sacrifice. I was in the process of releasing at the time, and God led me to give away my valuables and then give the money to Teresa family. Each time I went to my storage unit, I looked at all I own. I decided to give Teresa family my kitchenware, sell most of my clothes and shoes to clothing stores, and donate to Goodwill. The sacrifice of giving away most of what I own was challenging. However, the result was rewarding. The smiles on the faces of Teresa family members were priceless. It gave me abundant joy to see them using the dishes that I had been given to me. When I sold and donated my clothes and shoes, I could see great thanksgiving on the people's faces. I knew that by my giving out of the kindness of my heart, God would receive the glory by the lives that had been blessed. As the month of October came to an end, I was in serious search for a place to stay. Someone from my church reached out to me to let me know that a young woman was renting out her apartment with a roommate for the next 5 months. I quickly contacted the girl with the offer, and she invited me to her apartment to discuss an agreement. Out of the kindness of her heart, she offered to split the rent 3 ways since I could not afford to pay the entire portion of my rent. Before November began, I moved into the apartment. After the struggles of finding a stable place, I finally resided in a place that I felt like home. You see, kindness resides around us on the various occasions. It is matter of us opening our eyes to see kindness and accept that in love. If we rejected the love that is given from others, we would be rejected the love that comes from our creator of love. This story is just a highlight of how people demonstrate that kindness to help support my living situation. Even though I have received many blessings, I find it necessary to never stop giving. The measure we give will be the measure we get back in return. The measure we give could be our choices of however much we decided to give in clothing, food, time, money, service, and work. In sharing my journey, I hope to shed light on circle of kindness. What one gives, one receives is not what you give that determines your blessing in return. Instead, it is your heart desire in giving. So I encourage you to be kind out of love in your heart by Amish Arneshja Miller.